Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to Real Tank Commander Plays GHPC, and today we're going over a guide, a series of guides, because Mr. Ghost Live requested on how to think like I do. I'm going to use the M1 because I understand how the M1 works a lot more than all the others, so I can explain it hopefully in a way that everyone can understand. Alright, so the first one is fighting hull down. So you want to be able to see the enemy, but all you want to do is observe. So as of right now, well, we can see the target. Okay. Can we actually hit it though? No. So on an M1, the gunner's auxiliary sight is below the main gun. So when you go to shoot, as long as you can see the target through the gunner's auxiliary sight, come on, switch back over, you can shoot. Now I'll pull it so I can just barely see over the berm. We obviously cannot shoot the target. Alright. So I want you to understand that is all the enemy can see is your gunner's primary sight. That is it. Or just the top of the turret. That's the only thing they can see. Alright. So that means we're going to laze that target. Hey, we got the range indexed. We're going to come up. Verify we're clear. I'm going to pull it just enough so you can see. So now, with us being up, we can see the turret and just the top of the hull. But that's all that is required to hit the target. Turn. Alright. The other thing is you're going to laser target, shoot, and then you're immediately backing down. But you're backing down to you're like this if you're going to stay in that same position. And pulled up too high. So there we go. And we can continue to see same thing as before, just the turret's exposed. And the other thing I was in the M1 is always go after you fire it at a target. So it'll really be like this. You back off to 3 power. And back down. Up too high, but no big deal. Alright, so since they have not updated the stab on the M1 yet, and it is a lot better than is portrayed in the game. So same thing as before, we can just barely see over it. So you can get your track in a Defilade. Alright, so we are tracking a target. The tank settle out. Get a nice good track, center mass, get your lead in. Oh, it's sped up. But same thing as before, you can just barely see over the berm through the GPS. Nice good track. And it changed course. Eventually you'll get the hang of it to where you can move up without having to check. You won't have to check this. Alright, I haven't moved. We're a little too far up. And sometimes we'll do that just to make sure. Alright, so it's the first part of this video. I'm going to go over to table salt with the M1. Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen. So, on this we're going over positioning. So this is where we look up the map. So each one of these lines is supposed to be 10 meters in elevation. Or is it 20? 10 or 20, somewhere around there. Anyway, so what you're looking for on the map is you're going, alright, the enemy is attacking from this direction, and possibly this direction. We don't know 100% for sure. I mean, we do right now, because we've all played this enough. So, we have a depression right here. We have a ridge that runs like this. And so where do I want to be in a spot that has good defensible positions? Well, it's not going to be right here because I can only shoot over here. And to be able to get shots this direction, I have to expose a lot of my tank to do it, because this is not very high. So you're using a combination of the map and a combination of what the terrain looks like. So we can see right here. Alright, we're coming up, Most likely, where are they going to attack from? So it would be there, 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 and through there. Okay, so if we want to be able to engage all four of those from the same spot and have cover, it's these clump of trees and that dirt mound right over there as well. The whole point is to control the engagement. If you get ambushed, you are no longer in control of that engagement. And when you're not in control of the engagement, you generally lose unless you got a really good crew and you know what you're doing and you can fight your way out of it. Generally that doesn't happen, because mistakes on tanks generally cost people's lives. In real life. In the game, yeah, tank blows up, cool, I switch to the next one. This is also applicable to real life. Okay, so here we're going to want to have several different what's called battle positions. You're going to have your primary, your alternate, and your tertiary. Primary, secondary, tertiary. That's what it is. So, where the tank is parked would be my primary. The secondary would be over here. And the tertiary would be this entire ridge line. Now it also comes down to where precisely the enemy is. If I've knocked out the guys that are over here, I am safe to come in here because I'm shooting this direction because we're in a slight depression. Just once you guys start paying attention to the map and also what you see with your eyes, then yeah, you're pretty good. Then once you pick your BP, you want to make sure you can see everything that you want to see. But as I said in the first part of this video, you just want to... So right now we're kind of too high. However, if we're down low enough, you kind of can't really see over here because of the trees. And generally, I only like to shoot 2 to 3 rounds per position. But it also depends upon if they know you're there. If they don't know you're there, you can expend a few more. That's where you guys would see me on Reserves Recon with the M60. I would pop out, make damn sure that round's going to hit, and fire that 1 round and then pop back into the tree line. Oh, I know that's wrong. That's the only problem with smoke.
Gunner, Sabo, tank, identified, fire. On the way, target, engage, target locked.
I've fired 2 rounds, and they might know where I am. So I'm going to change my battle position. It's also about understanding what the capabilities of your tank are. So if you know the enemy does not have thermals, that just means you're going to be able to spot them a lot easier than they can spot you. Mine. So now we're popping out.
First right. Steady on. Identified. On the way. Target. Re-engage.
So now I know, hey, I got an enemy tank to my front.
On the way, stay low. Next target. Gunner, coax, troop. Identified. Fire. On the way. Target. Next target. Gunner, coax, troop. Identified. Fire. On the way. Combat. Re-engage. Next on the way. Gunner, coax, troop. On the way. Target, cease fire.
Come out, you know it's clear. Okay, that means we're gonna back off. I'm gonna swap the other tank just to make it nice, a little bit easier. And save time. Alright, so the second engagement. So we have the enemy coming from this direction to BP Delta. Okay. Specifically, what does... So they're attacking through this area. That we do know. Of all of us have played it enough. Which means our only options of attack is here. But that means we're facing them head on. Not a very smart move. We're facing them here, shooting them slightly from the front, but also slightly from the side. Okay, that's pretty good. Here, but you gotta, if they're sitting on the opposite side of this tree line, well then, well, you can't really see them through the tree line. So here's not very smart because if they sit right here, then you're kind of screwed. Because they're shooting you right in the front. From here, not that great. Even though, yes, I have done it several times. It's not the best. The best way to engage them would actually be from this tree line. If you can get there, that's the problem. So it's dealing with the limit, or dealing with the ability of your equipment. That's the main thing. You also have to be careful of the enemy artillery, because if they can hit your tank with it, well, now your tank's disabled. Back to starting over. So now I can see him. And hopefully... Yep. Oh, come on. Sometimes I hate the driving in this game. Tanks feel a little too floaty. So I'm taking a risk. To be able to shoot them from the side. And the problem is now they know I'm over here. Alright, I see him in the thermals. And you guys see how fast that engagement was? Alright, so I'm going to pop over. Okay, they're starting to look over, which means I need to reposition. We which could be one of two things. I could go all the way around this tree line. Oh, come on. Or I could go through it. I have not seen any new explosions yet. So now we know, hey, the other's on the other side, because I'm going the other side of that tree line. So now we are in the perfect position to flank them. Which is why you guys will see me when I have a tank equipped with thermals. I'm looking to the gunnery's primary site a lot with the thermals, so that way I can spot the enemy faster. Versus when I'm using anything that does not have thermals. You see me up in the tank commander's position. So that way I can use my binos. Oh, hey, the enemy's over there. And I can just swing the turret over there. So now we go, oh, shit. It's the first thing we saw. We should shoot tanks first because they're most dangerous. So we're coming up. We're coming back down. I did not let the tank settle. So now, since the enemy's looking at me, I've got to reposition. I'm not going to shoot at the troops because now they know where I'm going to be because I'm shooting coax. So every time you shoot, you got to make, it's a deliberate decision. So now we know that tank's still alive. Alright, we're going to reposition. Because it is looking directly at us. Most likely. Which is why you guys will see me put extra rounds in the tanks or enemy vehicles if they're not burning. So as you guys can see, by just simply flanking them, I was able to kill them all with one tank. In each engagement. Or having good positioning. It is all about positioning, reading the map, and using your eyes and going, hey man, do I really want to just drive across the open? No. The last thing is skylining yourself. So right here, I am skylined. I am visible from almost every direction. Which is why, when I came through to flank them, I did not go through their tanks. I drove around them. It takes longer, yes. However, I'm not seen. So when you go to drive through areas, let's say if I was to move from here to here, and I did not know whether this was clear or the backside of this ridge was clear, I would move down the low position and come around and flank them if they were sitting here. Or if there was a bunch of enemies here, or I just needed to travel through it. It just comes down to positioning, reading a map, understanding where you are, so that way, one, you're not seen, because if you can't be seen, you can't be hit. What is it? The onion of tanks. If you can't be seen, you can't be hit. If you are seen, you are hit, and hopefully you got strong enough armor to take said hit. But the point is, don't be seen at first. But that's why you come up and you just have your gunner's primary sight exposed, which is a very, very, very hard thing to identify. I would say past 600 meters. If you don't know what you're looking for, the little gunner's primary sight on top of an M1 is really hard to spot. Even in thermals. Unless it's really cold. Then it'll show up. You'll see this little thing out there. But it's going to be this little, like, blip. It really won't stand out all that much. The tank pops up, and you see the turret. Oh, yeah, it's definitely going to show up. But you always want to hide the whole tank as much as possible. Hopefully this helps. Like, subscribe, share, do all that cool stuff. So that way, eventually, we can shoot a gunnery with an M60A3 TTS. Shot a gunnery with an M1A2. I want to do it with a TTS. Thanks for watching.